Can you still have a smooth, productive experience while jumping between different ecosystems? The answer is yes.
Not long ago, I shared a video called Ecosystem Independence, an idea built around the freedom to live and work digitally without being locked inside a single brand's world. A few months later, it's been refreshing to see companies like OPPO move in that same direction, opening their platforms instead of closing them off. So when they reached out, it felt right to partner up and explore how their new ColorOS 16 takes that philosophy even further, breaking down the barriers between different ecosystems and making everything around it feel a little more connected. For this, I'm using OPPO's newest Find X9 Pro flagship alongside my trusty MacBook Pro. As someone who's been using the Find N5 for quite a while now, one of the first things I noticed here is the fluidity of ColorOS 16, but not in the traditional sense. You see, when it matters, the phone lets animations breathe. They move slowly and satisfyingly, then speed up the moment I start interacting faster. What's interesting is that it never feels inconsistent or random, but rather intentional. That's because behind the scenes, everything is handled by what OPPO calls the all-new luminous rendering engine. Instead of drawing each visual element one by one, it renders them all at once, so whether I'm opening an app, pulling down the quick settings, switching tasks, or simply entering the home screen, everything is buttery smooth no matter how much is happening. And talking about home screen, this is where things get personally exciting, because remember my mini drawer widget? Here it finally works the way I always imagined it should. I'm talking about customizable home screen folders which I can scroll through, tap to open apps directly, and even reshape to my liking. Make them wide and short or tall or narrow, while everything inside and out adapts instantly. If I want easier access to a specific app, I can just expand its icon to really make it stand out. But what really takes it further is the ability to add app-specific quick actions right inside that larger icon. So no more long pressing or diving into menus. Let me show you what I mean. I can expand the camera icon, for example, and fill the empty slots with my most used camera modes: Video, Hasselblad, High-Res, and X-Pan. It's a small detail, but it works throughout the entire OS, like Aqua Dynamics, which is OPPO's glanceable interactive information approach. It keeps everything in front of me without opening full apps where I can monitor ongoing activities right from the top. Now, you might have noticed the lock screen animation and the wallpaper by now, and again, this is something new in ColorOS 16. As before, all the customization lives inside the home and lock screen settings, from different backdrops to font and icon styles. But what really stands out to me here is the new Flux themes. They're not just wallpapers, they move and shift with light and change dynamically. Each one is beautifully designed, yet deeply personal, where I can easily make it mine, tweak it, mix it, and adjust every detail until it feels just right. But where ColorOS 16 really starts to feel like more than just a user interface is with something called AI Mindspace. On average, we consume close to 74 gigabytes of data every day. Information, meetings, messages, screenshots, photos, and reminders are fragments of our digital life that we try to scatter and make sense across different apps. The idea behind AI Mindspace is to bring order to that chaos. So if I press the dedicated snap key once, it instantly captures whatever's on my screen. Hold it, and it starts recording a voice note that's automatically transcribed later. It can even recognize time-sensitive details, turning quick thoughts into reminders. What's fascinating is how it understands the context of what I'm saying. If I point the camera at a poster or an event invite, it will pick up the date, time, and location, offering to add them straight to my calendar. The cherry on top is being able to ask and make sense of everything later through Mind Assist. And having all of this tied to a physical button actually makes the snap key one of the most practical hardware additions I've seen. Of course, if I prefer, I can map it to something else entirely, but to be honest, I'm keeping it as it is.
Primarily used for gladiatorial contests, public
OPPO has partnered up with Google, by the way, bringing Gemini directly into AI mindspace, creating what they call personal knowledge-based integration. What that means is Gemini can now access everything I've saved and use it as context whenever I ask for help. So instead of pulling information from scratch, it builds on what I already know and care about. So just to give you an example, I can say plan a trip to the Colosseum using my notes from my Mindspace and check if the weather looks good for, let's say, mid-November. Gemini will blend that with real data to create a personalized plan, and thanks to its partnership with OPPO, it can take natural language commands and perform actions within native OPPO apps like settings, notes, clock, or calendar. At the same time, Gemini Live, which uses the camera and screen sharing for guided assistance, can help translate a foreign menu in real time or offer contextual suggestions based on what's currently on the screen.
Selezione di formaggi caprini e confetture is a selection of goat cheeses with jams.
AI in ColorOS 16 extends into other useful tools like the AI recorder, for example. Just like in Mindspace, it can turn conversations or meetings into organized notes, and dare I say, things happen instantly, which is something I haven't seen to this point. It transcribes in real time, separating speakers and even summarizing the key points when I'm done. Then there's the AI writer, which is a super handy built-in editor and generator across the system. I see myself taking advantage of it when I need to respond to an email formally or simply reply back in a decent manner when my head is out and about. Creativity gets a similar boost with AI Portrait Glow, a one-tap fix for portrait that might have been taken in less than ideal light. But what's more important to mention here is that all this AI magic sits on a foundation of privacy. Every AI process, every piece of data stored or transcribed is protected under OPPO's private computing cloud. The goal is that nothing leaves the device without permission, and the complementary OPPO lock adds a physical layer of safety, instantly securing the phone if it's ever lost or tampered with. When I mentioned breaking down the barriers between different ecosystems at the beginning of this episode, I was referring to connectivity. More specifically, O+ Connect, which is OPPO's dedicated Mac, Windows, and iOS app. With it, just like my Find N5, my computer can communicate with my phone. I can access all its files, transfer things effortlessly, and even remote control my PC or Mac, something that is just so handy when in a pinch. There are countless little details worth exploring here, and one that comes to mind is when I open my photo gallery. Tapping on a photo instantly triggers a prompt to view or save that photo on my Mac. But perhaps the service that will pique most people's interest is the shared clipboard. By simply copying certain text on my Mac, I can paste it on my OPPO and vice versa. It's such a simple thing, but it says a lot about how far cross-platform integration has come. With ColorOS 16 though, things go further with something called screen mirroring. With it, I can open my OPPO apps and interact with them right from my computer. Imagine how useful that would be for an Instagram post, for example, being able to use my computer's keyboard and mouse. Taking things further, touch to share is a feature that I can really appreciate too, knowing I can simply share a photo or a file with an iPhone. And with ColorOS 16, things are now ultra smooth if we pair the same devices. If that's not breaking down barriers, I honestly don't know what is. Now, if you want to see why the OPPO Find N5 was a device that ruined other phones for me, you can check out this episode right here. And if you're interested in a dedicated episode about this beast of a phone, the Find X9 Pro, let me know below. Like and subscribe to the channel as well as my newsletter, and as always, it's been an absolute pleasure. This is E, over and out.